Okay.
Hello, Isaac.
Hi, Richard.
So I'm here with a topic. Something what keeps me in samsara, what keeps me in suffering. It's somehow a force which is trying to get somewhere where I'm already are. So like a wheel, what is going on and going on. Yeah.
But that's functioned in almost everybody. That same mechanism. So if we look, what's underneath it? What is the fuel for it? Like, if you have a car and you don't put fuel in the tank, it stops. What is the fuel for that going round and round? What's it based on? Gently looking, see for yourself. In the moment, if there's peace, that stops.
Yes.
So somewhere there must be some sense of not being at peace, some sense of dis-ease, which is interesting because the moment we are seeking, that dis-ease arises in that same moment. And so that is the fuel for continuing. If you stop, and by stopping, I mean, it's not even stopping that mechanism, it's just seeing that mechanism just is suffering, is disease. It cannot solve itself, never. It's not wrong, it's not bad. In the sense that all we have to give this moment is our attention. That's it. Just check and see if that's true, because it's a big statement.
The attention is in this moment based.
All that we have in this moment is our attention. Where our attention is focused, and how it's focused. So, for example, if through the trauma and the conditioning I've had, the habit of attention that I have is I'll make something up. I'll look at you like this. And everywhere I go, that's how I look at everybody like this, yeah? What kind of response will I get from that?
Suffering.
Yeah, people will feel uncomfortable and something will go to defend or push away or whatever it is. So there's like our habit of attention gets feedback from everywhere we go. Every interaction, every person. And because it's so familiar to us, we don't pick up on it. We just go, it's just weird. Everywhere I go, people kind of treat me in a funny kind of a way. I don't really know why. I think everybody's messed up or something, It's like, but what doesn't usually occur to us is just, wow, is there some way that my attention is not really feeling people, not really in tune with them, where my attention is meeting people in a way that causes ripples. Because in every single interaction, even when we're not physically present with someone, even if we just think of them, they'll feel us. And there'll be an energetic dance that happens. I don't think I'm telling anybody anything new. I think we all know this, actually.
So the attention in interaction can miss something, or
Yeah, like for example, if we see people as objects, I'd say one of the most common habits of attention is we look at what looks like a person and we see, is this person useful to me or are they in my way? Unconsciously, if that's how we've been conditioned, that's what will happen. It happens, related to our sexuality, for example. Am I attracted? Am I not attracted? Is this person interesting to me or not? Can this person help me in some way, or they just, so there's like a automatic, unconscious play, you could say, but it's that happens in almost all of us. But part of, for me, what's useful in these meetings is to explore how beautifully can we meet each other? Can we meet each other just really not projecting that the person's separate from us for a start? Recognizing that what you call me, you actually feel in awareness. I'm already in you. I'm not outside of you. So it plays in so many subtle levels, like, if somehow it looks through the lens that I'm an authority or that maybe I can give you something, then the way of functioning would kind of move through that very subtle or not so subtle orientation. But it would be uncomfortable. So there's no right and no wrong. We're in a learning process, yeah? How can we meet this moment beautifully? not by anybody else's standards, just by our own, and we can feel it when, oh yes, that feels beautiful to me. Just like learning to play an instrument. Maybe at first we don't quite get the exact right note, or it's a little bit off, but you start developing an ear. See, that's now in tune. Okay, cool. And maybe what I'm speaking is useful, maybe not. Maybe it resonates for someone who's on the Zoom tonight, maybe not. Who knows?
Very useful.
Okay.
It's like a learning process for a human to be in consciousness.
Yeah.
And this dynamic consciousness is playing by itself.
It is, and like, look, all of us grew up in a certain, like a family dynamic, the way our father treated our mother and the way our mother treated our father, and the way the relating was between our siblings, if we had any, and then, like just the way we were taught to relate to life. And there's a wide variety in that. Some of us had parents that were, I would say, really not very functional. Some of us had parents that were reasonably loving, but still had patterns. There's just a whole variety, yeah? But all we're doing now is we're learning, we're refining in a way, resting as awareness and starting to see, okay, everything is determined by our habit of attention, which has been conditioned. And also, whatever trauma is left in our system influences the habit of attention. So for me, by bringing it to consciousness and speaking it, at least, we in the process of fine-tuning, we're learning, And like with anything, when we're learning, it's, in my view, when a child learns to walk and they fall over, we don't consider that a mistake. That's part of the learning process. Once we see we learning, okay, then you get your feedback, your own feedback. You start to feel, oh wow, when I meet like this, there's love that just flows, everything is fine. The moment it shifts a little bit, I can feel it, something has gone off. But it's not a question of right or wrong. It's like learning to ride a bicycle. It's like the moment where suddenly your body gets it, and you balancing, and then from there it can only get even finer and more. So making a distinction, is there a difference between learning what is the sweetest quality of attention that it's possible to give, and trying to get somewhere? Like if we learn to ride a bike, there's an interest, we want to learn. we can then tie a happiness to it and say, I won't be happy until I really learn how to ride a bike. But that's something on top of just the interest of learning to ride a bike. Yeah? So we're interested to meet this moment as the beloved.
Yes.
Moment by moment by moment. Yeah? And just feeling where something else starts to meet it in a way that there's a sense of separation that happens, a sense of me, whatever, you know, some suffering, whatever. However you want to explore that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I love you, Isaac.
Was that useful for anybody? Speaking of that, was that Antje?
And to Isaac. Thank you.
Thank you. Ah, Prem, Papa.
Hello, Isaac.
Hi.
Can you recommend some practices?
Say again.
Can you recommend some practices maybe that we can do every day?
You know, the idea of practice is to get somewhere. So ultimately, you know, the interest is just to be here. So how do you practice being here? You know, Ramana Maharishi, when in his invitation, he said the most direct is no matter what arises or comes up, if you ask who's aware of it, the answer has to be I am. And then the question, who am I, is not a question for the mind or for thinking about. It's just redirecting attention to rest. So because the interest is just to be here, you know, that's, if you want to, it's like the recognition that who you are, you really are. So it's not a question of becoming something different or getting somewhere. All of those ideas, actually, if we examine them, get in the way, because then we're not here. Our intelligence is trying to get somewhere else and see if we've arrived. And you know, what's trying to see if we've arrived is what is that that's trying to do that? You know, that's the very thing that's actually in the way. Yeah? So that recognition that who you are doesn't require effort. It's here already, always here. and then just resting. Tafji's commentary on meditation was, he said, usually when we meditate, we already decide, oh, I'm going to meditate for an hour. So we've already tied our attention to when we're going to stop, yeah? So from where he was looking at, just this invitation to stop, recognize what's already here. And rest as well. In this moment, if we look, what is it that makes it seem like we're not here? Clearly, we're here, yeah? So what makes it seem like you need practice?
Unsure.
Hmm?
I'm unsure.
Yeah, so we're just looking, we're just playing. Somehow we hear, and then we hear about the possibility of not suffering or getting enlightened or something like this. And maybe an idea forms of what that looks like or what that must feel like, or then they're ready now, in a sense. So those thoughts, or some people call it mind, is fooling us. Mind is measuring whether we're present or not. That's like trusting a thief with your valuables. Eh? In this moment, is there any need for practice? Just this moment. No.
Well,
Any more question?
yes. So, what I don't understand, why are there so many meditation techniques then? Or why are so many masters saying, yo, you should do this? Or, I don't know, Osho, do dynamic meditation.
Joking with people. Like people think they need to do something, so I'll give them so much to do that eventually they'll get exhausted and they'll stop.
Mm.
And who can answer why anybody did anything? I can only answer, like I can only say, to me, I think people that see sometimes have very weird senses of humor. See, it's this funny thing, you know. You get people like Tony Parsons who says, you know, look, just recognize that there's nobody here. And for most people, then they start, that becomes a conceptual thing, and they but like in this moment, just right here, right now, when I ask you, is there a need for practice in this moment? You say no. Once I was being interviewed by an Osho magazine, and they asked me, when did you wake up? I'd never actually thought about it. When I stopped to think about it for a moment, I thought, wow, I never woke up. That which was awake has always been awake, and that the sense of I cannot wake up. So how could I make a claim that I woke up? Absurd. When did you not wake up? Backwards question. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
You know, it's like that resting, just resting is who we are, gives the capacity to notice some of those automatic unconscious habits of attention that have been causing trouble. So to me, that's like a love affair. It just continuously keeps revealing just different subtleties of where there's been a habit playing. And that'll probably go on till the last breath. But then it's really not about getting anywhere. It's just about being available for whatever's playing unconsciously to become conscious. It's just like, and recognizing that whatever comes to peace in us actually benefits all beings. It's not for ourselves anymore. It's like a function of this love affair. As long as there's a me trying to get somewhere, any practice just strengthens that sense of me. Didn't it? And yet we can't deny that somehow it keeps refining itself, keeps getting finer and more, I could say, more beautiful. So, seems like a paradox, but it's not actually. It's just Ah, Cuba. Oops,
Oh,
I see you. Yeah, cool.
can I ask something?
Good.
Yeah. This what you spoke. Oh, what you spoke about the attention that really interest is causing a lot of interest here, and
Yeah.
I'm since then a lot for all the kind of filters that you mentioned are here, chuk, chuk, chuk. And now I was kind of exploring.
Yeah, as we were sitting here now, there was a beautiful exploration
Okay,
for
yeah,
me.
I
Yeah.
wanted to check that because
Yeah, yeah. From my side, it felt very sweet. Just
yeah,
really, it's like that's why I use that image of riding a bicycle, because it's like dynamic. We're learning together, we're playing.
yeah,
And, of course, a thought can come out and lose for a moment. And we can take that personally, oh, wow, the person went away or whatever. But, it's just like, okay, yeah, we playing, we're exploring, meeting, and there's, to me, when we explore like that, it feels so much like lovemaking, but like it's not sex, not sex, but just lovemaking, just really that beautiful flow of that nurtures, that is sweet.
yeah. But it's really different. It's kind of blurry a little bit. It's more
Whatever, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it'll be different moments. It's just,
yeah, yeah.
it's like it's
Okay.
an exploration. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in our culture, especially Western culture, we're not used to resting and exploring like that. That's subtly. We used to blah 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 blah, and then just like it's so like I say, on a different level. It's just social dynamic where nothing much really, yeah, meets itself.
Yeah. It's funny because a lot of also these things jumping in between. Yeah,
Just to notice, that's all.
yeah,
That's in a view, that's in one way of looking, that's just revealing where there's, yeah, like old thoughts or old ideas. It's they come across just to get seen. That's all.
yeah,
Don't have to do anything with them.
yeah. Yeah, thank you for exploring.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Barbara.
No.
Hi.
Hi. It's an idea, but I think it's a nice idea, like to try to meet fresh and fresh and fresh and fresh again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, to take the trying out of it, just I would say an interest in that.
Hmm.
It's just like here we are. Wow. And
Yeah, the word trying is just pointing to that so far it's not always like that for me.
yeah, so you know, it's like with anything learning, you know, like when we learn something new at first, it's quite challenging, but you know, like with anything, it refines itself and gets finer and finer. You know, we just start where we start, that's all.
Is there a releasing happening? Like you call this like when you have the tingling in your hands? Is it for you also, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like in most of us, there's old thought forms that have got energy with them. So when they get seen, there is just a natural releasing that happens. Frees up life energy then. Just like if you've been sitting on your leg or something and you get pins and needles and you stand up and you get that thing.
Sometimes you have a topic and then okay, now it's releasing, but at the moment I don't know what is releasing.
Yeah. You don't need to know.
Yeah. Yeah, knowing is almost like stopping in a way, like. Yeah, thank you for being here. Mm.
Yeah. Varesha sent me a message that there's a intensive happening with Micah Friday evening and Sunday. I wasn't aware of it, but if that is the case, then there won't be a meeting with me on Friday or Sunday. I could send like a quick message and just see. Hang on a second. Just.
Yeah, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Isaac.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So then, so this Friday and.
Yeah. Well, it's on her website, so.
Okay.
You could ask her.
No, that's cool. If it's on the website, then it's. Yeah. Hey, Esther.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi, Esther.
Thank you. So I looked it back and back and back. Meeting from Friday. And I also saw the part with my dear friend Feed, where you asked, is it necessary to look at the anger? And then you said no. And I've been Sunday to a Dutch gathering physical with Muji.
Okay.
And then it was such a lovely feel that there was a huge release in my body, therefore also in my system. And yesterday it starts to contract again. So I don't want to look at the anger, because you said it's powerlessness, and I always thought that is actually it's sadness underneath. So I don't know if we have to sit with that.
No, you look in your own experience from what you just spoke. You were just sitting in this field and releasing happened. No effort. Yes, and there was just a noticing. Okay.
Yeah, and it
the
was
releasing happened. Yeah. So that's, I mean, to me, that's your own experience.
Yeah.
And then, many of these mechanisms are kind of have a sense, like it's like some sense of that they based on existential old information. So even when they release, they come back and go, oh, but I'm going to die. You know, if that really stays relaxed, I'm going to die. So it comes back.
Yeah, it
And
seems that
and
it's scary in a way, but well, I had a nice,
Yeah.
not so nice
Yeah.
consultation with a neighbor, and then but I could hold the space and
Yeah, and
That's
so
what
it's just like that, you know, it's like little by little, you know, when you learn to ride a bike, you know, at first you may be a bit shaky, but if you keep, if the interest is deep, then you keep getting on the bike and trying, you know, like
I climbed the bike again and again and again, you know.
that's all. But what else? What other possibility is there?
Kill myself.
Yeah, well,
That's not an opportunity of a possibility yet. But I would love to sit with you at the moment, if that's possible. I see my mind is a little bit going like still finding solutions and to find peace. And that's the future. And I see it's also a habit of a young part in my system what really has to kind of overstep the natural power, or I don't know how to say it, but so it's really, yeah. That smiling and knocking means thank you, I guess. Thank you.
Richard.
Hey, Isaac.
Check.
Hi. For last weeks, I have opportunity to show projection from the mind about desire, like we spoke last time, and just tell me if I'm wrong. That living as awareness is there is no free will because only mind trying to say there is any choices to say yes or no, and actually desire means fear of lack, because saying that if you go and step forward or doing something more, there will be something more of more value, but there is only illusion. So there is no free will, just everything must be happen. And this saying I want means I live in the fear. That's correct. All right. Yeah. That's beautiful. That's it. Thank you so much.
Oh, come on. Hey.
Hello. The ego can only be dropped by itself.
You know, let's. What is ego?
Personal identity or appearances, the mind. This what is not true self, not me.
Whatever that is, I mean, to me, it seems like, does it exist? Is it real?
No, it's only the potential or
Yeah. So, I mean, because I hear people talking about, oh, ego or whatever, but for me, it's like, it's an activity. If the activity stops, if there is no such thing as ego. So we could say it's, like a habitual pattern that plays. And, what's it made of? It's made of referencing, memory.
future.
Future, a sense of me. But is it real? No, it's not real.
No, it's not real. I say it's not.
And then the question is, who's doing it? Is there someone that's doing ego, or is it an automatic, unconscious movement that happens by itself? Kind of, it's like, like if we look
Still
simply,
ego.
yeah, if we look simply, when waking up happens, doesn't matter what, like go to sleep, you have a good sleep, then waking up happens. What does that mean? The sense of become active, yeah?
Yeah.
And usually there's like a habit when waking up happens, like I'll give you an example. Some thoughts that come like, for a while I was traveling a lot. So for me, when waking up would happen, was where am I? Then what's on my agenda today? And maybe how am I feeling? Or like these these thoughts.
Always the
are
same
just,
game. Always same game.
the same game. They thoughts, that's all. And then those thoughts seem to locate us in time and space.
Yes.
And so for some people, it's when waking up happens, it's like, what do I have to do today? So it's really a freak out. It's like, it's not, for some people, when they wake up, it's like, oh, what do I love to do today? But that's more common is, what do I have to do today? And already it's stressful, yeah, and then already the systems are starting to run. So there's just, habitual thoughts that play, and we call that, I don't know, a sense of I or a sense of ego or whatever, but it's just thoughts, basically, familiar thoughts.
Yes, I see this now.
Points of view, like, yeah, nothing real, actually. There can be some habits like, nobody really likes me. What, yeah, I mean, there's just so many variations, like,
Yes,
I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I'm not successful enough, I'm, like,
not enough.
why not enough? It's just like thoughts, that's all.
Yes. I love you.
Yeah. Beauty. Thanks. Part of that circle of thoughts is, we meet someone, it's so common to say, how you doing? And then how do you answer that question? How do you mean in this moment? How would I know? What would I measure by? What am I measuring? That's like, what are we talking about actually? Like, I don't have a clue how I'm doing. Whatever it is that measures that stuff doesn't work anymore. But easy to make up a story based on what? I had a bad dream last night, or slept well, or I didn't sleep well. Anyway.
Yep.
Oi.
Hello, Isaac.
Hi.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what you were saying, like this, how are you doing? But it's so rare because, I mean, in the world, it's just to connect like this, how we are just connecting. It's yeah.
Somehow we've been conditioned to connect via stories and via like, yeah,
Fully.
not, yeah.
So
It means well. It means well, but it's just like it's such a, yeah. It's really settling for crumbs.
yeah, but then sometimes it's like how you deal with that. Then you know when you connect in the world, it's I mean it doesn't matter.
I
It's
stay with just this interest to meet the moment as the beloved. Doesn't matter on circumstance, on anything else. Doesn't matter. You know, like that's the interest here. Whatever else comes along.
you just see. It's like you just see through all this blah blah and the stories, and you just feel. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Oh, and in a way, it's so sweet in a way because it's just all kind of behaviors what try to to
Exactly, you know, because like we meet someone, and the first thing that comes in our mind usually is all our memories of all the interactions we've had with that person. And that immediately is in the way of just meeting fresh. Like, wow. It's,
yeah. So I'm meeting you fresh now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Liska.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi, Liska.
So just now, here, now. Hmm. Noticing some tightness in the body. Doesn't matter.
Oftentimes we notice the tightness just as it's letting go. You know, it's such a habit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Letting go, yes. Mm. Some kind of releasing. Mm. Thank you.
Hi.
Perfect.
There is a noticing of bundle of patterns around how relating to Anke usually tends to happen.
Mm.
And it's oftentimes colored in the direction of wanting to support, wanting to help. Okay, there may be some objective reasons for that, but this is not what is addressed here. Wanting to basically wanting to change, to improve, and of course, this kind of focus produces a sense of a me and produces a funny direction or
dynamic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful that it's noticed, you know.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's
Since
like, so.
Yeah.
You know, with people that we have a long history with, there's lots of memories, lots of, you could say, memories where hurt happened or where, you know, just where it was entangled. So it's just beautiful that they start revealing, and you just see it's like, okay, I'm interested to really meet fresh, like completely fresh. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know,
happens
this-
also. This happens
Yeah,
also, but
yeah.
again and again, this.
It goes back into old
Yeah,
habits.
it's
That's
funny.
it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
It's
amazing. Yeah.
you know, it's like there's a certain usefulness in that, like having a memory and kind of, you know, like there's a practicality of knowing, okay, this person is not very trustworthy, this person always comes late, this person, whatever. But it's like a memory of patterns that, you know, we've interfaced with. So there's some usefulness to it, but actually in this love affair, it's not so interesting.
How lucky are we? Thank you so much. Thank you.
So the next open meeting with me is 1 week from today. And thank you, Bas, for hosting. Thank you all for being here. Love, peace, beauty.